We'll continue on with the presentation of evidence. Mr. Garner, state's next witness.
State calls Chauncey Nicola.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony about to give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Please have a seat.
Good afternoon.
That's it.
Sorry. Sorry. As you testify today, could you also speak as much into the microphone as possible?
Yes.
Okay. Could you please state your name?
Chauncey Nicola.
And Mr. Nicola, what do you do for work?
I'm a Honolulu police officer.
How long have you been employed by HPD?
Just about 9 years.
Were you employed and on duty on March 24th, 2025?
Yes.
On that date, what was your assigned unit?
I was assigned to the Criminal Investigations Division's Strategic Enforcement Detail.
And what does the Strategic Enforcement Detail generally do?
We either handle cases or we assist other detectives or other details within the Criminal Investigations Divisions.
And on about 12:45 p.m. on March 24, 2025, where were you dispatched to?
The Palipuka.
When you got to the Palipuka, what were you assigned to do?
We were assigned to look for the suspect and go up into the mountain, into the trail area.
And did you actually do that?
Yes, I did.
Okay. And when you say go up into the mountain, where exactly did you go?
So we had to go up to the initial scene and canvass the area and look for different routes in different areas that he might have went, or just that whole mountainside area.
Okay. What was the terrain like on that mountainside area?
It was steep, it was rocky, there was dirt.
What was the ground brush cover, if there was any, like?
I mean, it was dirt and grassy area.
How long did you stay at the Pali Lookout on March 24, 2025?
About 6 hours maybe.
What time did you end up leaving?
Right around just about 6 p.m.
Who was with you when you were leaving?
Officer Koki and Officer Borges.
And where were you instructed to go at around 6 o'clock p.m.?
Back to the main police station on Baratanga.
So you're going back towards town, or you're going towards Windward side?
We're going town-bound. So we left Palipuka and we went Pali, but we went town-bound towards the main station.
And can you describe the vehicle that you and the other two officers were in?
So we're in an unmarked HPD police vehicle. It's a Nissan Quest, gray in color.
Say Nissan Quest. What kind of vehicle is that?
It's a van, a regular van.
And where were you positioned in that Nissan Quest?
I was driving the van.
I know you talked a little bit about it, but can you clarify the route you were taking to get back from the Pali Lookout to the main station?
Okay, so we left. We were at the top part where that rock wall was. We parked, then we left, and we went down towards Pali, so the Nuuanu Drive.
Nuuanu Pali Drive?
Pali Drive, yeah, to Pali Highway.
As you were driving down the Nuuanu Pali Drive, what did you observe?
As we pass everybody, we go down. I see a male emerging from the brush area behind this tree, like the forest area, come across the roadway.
Can you describe the male that you observed?
Yeah, he was average height, maybe 5'7", 5'8". He was wearing a white shirt, blue pants, which he had like blood on his shirt.
Or what looked like blood?
What looked like blood appeared to be blood.
How close did you get to the male in the vehicle?
So after we continued to drive down, we pulled just alongside. So if this is my vehicle, he was approximately right there.
And for the record, you just demonstrated about an arm's length.
A little bit past the arm length away.
Okay. And he got a little bit past an arm length away from your vehicle?
Yes.
Did you recognize that male to be anybody relevant to your investigation?
Yes, the suspect.
And that's based on the description you were given?
Yes.
If that person is, if you were able to see that person again, would you be able to recognize them?
Yes, I would.
If that person is in the courtroom, can you point to that person and let us know an article of clothing that they're wearing?
Sitting in the middle with the blue collared shirt.
And may the record reflect the witness has identified the defendant.
Record will reflect identification as we made.
And you ID'd, who did you ID the male as, name-wise?
Well, Gerhardt Konig.
Konig?
Sorry.
So once you observed the male and ID him as Gerhardt Konig, what actions did you take?
So we pulled alongside. I told my other fellow officers in the car that was him, and then we pulled up, and then I put up alongside of him. I said, "Hey, police, stop! Let me see your hand."
Okay. Now, when you said, "Police, stop! Let me see your hands," can you tell us what kind of voice you used when you do that?
I mean, I used kind of a loud, commanding voice so that he could hear.
Officer Nicola, I'm sorry, I'm going to ask you this. Do you mind demonstrating?
Yeah, so I pulled up and I said, "Hey, police, stop! Let me see your hands."
And after you said that, did you give the defendant a chance to comply?
Yeah, so he looked at me. He looked back because now we're face. I'm looking at him and he's looking at me when I said that.
Okay. So he's looking at you when you say, "Police, stop"?
Because he's up the van approaching because he runs in front of us because we come down.
And how long did you give him to comply with that demand?
I mean, I at that point I'm just looking at him. Could have been, I don't know, 15, 20 seconds. He's just looking at me.
Okay. And after you see the defendant, you pull up, you tell him to stop, you guys look at each other, then what does the defendant do next?
Then he turns and he runs away from my vehicle to this brushy, like the grassy area because we're still in the roadway.
Okay, you say he runs to a brushy or grassy area. Can you describe
Like
the area?
yeah, it's just like it's the road and it's like grass and dirt area and then there was like bushes beyond that.
Okay, as the defendant ran toward the road and the grassy area and the bushes, what did you do?
And then put my vehicle in park. I exited my vehicle and I gave chase after him.
Did anybody else pursue as well?
Yeah, my other two partners are with me, but they were on the other side of the vehicle, so I didn't see when they came out or anything. I was just focused on running ahead of me.
So of the three officers, who got to the defendant first?
I did.
What happened when you got to the defendant?
So as I got closer, I reached out and I grabbed his right arm to try. And I'm still yelling, "Police, stop! Police, stop!" And I was able to grab onto his right arm.
After you grabbed the defendant's right arm, actually, pause that.
Yes.
Restart the question. You said you kept yelling, "Police, stop"?
Yes.
How many times?
I just kept yelling as I was running. I could multiple times. I just was yelling, "Police."
Okay. And going forward again now,
Yes.
after you grabbed the defendant's arm, what did the defendant do?
He tries to break my grip, so he tries to pull out and continue running away from me to get away from me.
And as the defendant's pulling away from you,
Right.
when you're grabbing his right arm, what happens with you and the defendant?
We're in this like grassy, like muddy area, so I lose my balance and he loses balance, so we both fall down and I fall on top of him.
Right. Who falls on top of who?
I fell on top of him.
Okay, so now at this point, you and the defendant have both fallen, and you've fallen on top of him. What did the defendant do next?
Starts reaching for, he has this like black, I don't know, side bag, I don't know what you call it. It's like, he has it around him, he starts to grab for it.
And once you see the defendant reaching for this bag, what do you do next?
I'm trying to use my physical strength to pull the bag away from him, which I was able to, and I'm able to pull it off of him and get it away from him.
And so were you actually able to get the bag away from him?
Yes, I did.
So what did you do with the bag once you got it away from the
So once
defendant?
I got it away, I threw it on the side of me to get it away from me and him, away from arm's length reach from anybody, so he couldn't grab the bag again.
Right. So at this point, now that you've gotten the bag away from the defendant, what happens next?
Well, he's still trying to push and fight, and he's trying to like grab all over. So I don't know what he's he's reaching for his waist, he's going for his pants, so I don't know if he has a weapon or not, so I continue to try to gain control of him.
And as defendant's doing this, as he's reaching for his waist and all this, how do you attempt to gain control of the defendant?
So I give him some distractionary strikes to his large muscle group area.
Okay. And when you say distractionary strikes, could you explain for us what that means?
Well, I give him close fist strikes.
And when you say large muscle groups, what do you mean by that?
I'm trying to hit his arm areas and his legs.
And how many distractionary strikes did you do?
About 6 of them.
Ultimately, was the defendant apprehended
Yes, he was.
and arrested?
Yes.
After the defendant was arrested, what happened with his backpack?
So then, after he was arrested, I went back and grabbed a bag. I put it in a brown paper bag and I secured it until the detective came.
Okay. And once the detective came, what did you do with the backpack?
I then transferred custody and gave him the bag.
Did you take any photographs of the defendant and his physical condition on March 24th, 2025?
Yes, I did.
Your Honor, may I approach with what's been marked as States Exhibit 132, 235, and 237?
Yes.
I'm sorry, 236.
Thank you.
132, 235, and 236, or what was the wrong one? 237 or
I apologize. There's 4 photographs. I missed one. So we have 132,
okay?
235, 236, and 237.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, may I approach? Okay, Officer Nicola, I've handed you 4 photographs now.
Yes.
Could you take a look through all 4, and when you're done, look up and let me know?
Yes.
Okay.
Good.
Do you recognize what I've just handed you?
Yes.
What are these?
The photos after he was placed under arrest.
And these are the photographs of the defendant.
Yes.
Do these photographs fairly and accurately depict the defendant as you observed him on March 24th, 2025?
Yes.
At this point, the state will move to enter 132, 235, 236, and 237 into evidence.
Mr. Okay.
No objection.
And what has been marked for identification as States Exhibits 132, 235, 236, and 237 we received into evidence?
Okay, and permission to publish.
Granted.
Okay, Officer Nicola, I'm going to put those photos up on the screen. Starting with Exhibit 132. And now rotated correctly. Officer Nicola, what does this photograph show?
Full body picture of the suspect.
And what's that in the background of this photo?
That's the kind of grassy area that he ran into, or we ran to.
And how big are the trees back there?
Wow, very big.
Publishing now States Exhibit 235. And we'll rotate it correctly. Okay, Officer Nicola, what does this photo show us?
Closer view of his kind of upper chest area.
And now publishing States Exhibit 236. And apologies, I might have to rotate it again. Okay, what does this photo show?
This is a left profile.
And lastly, Exhibit 237. And again, we'll rotate it upright. What does this photo show?
This is right profile.
I'm going to take the exhibits down. After you arrested the defendant, Officer Nicola, where did you take him?
Took him to Straub Hospital.
Why did you take the defendant to the hospital?
Just because when we took him down, there was force used and stuff, so we always take the suspect to the hospital.
How long did you and the defendant stay at the hospital?
Only about 5 hours.
couple more questions. What were you wearing that day, Officer Nicola?
I was in a plainclothes attire, so I had a t-shirt, pants, and I had my badge from my neckline, and then I had my gun belt underneath my shirt and stuff.
Sorry, where was your badge actually displayed on your body?
It was on my chest area.
And last couple of questions. Officer Nicola, how tall are you?
About 6 feet,
And approximately how much did you weigh on March 24th, 2025?
300 pounds.
Did everything you testified to occur in the city and county of Honolulu, state of Hawaii?
Yes.
Thank you. No further questions at this time.
Okay, cross-examination.
Good afternoon, Officer Nicola.
That's right.
Just a few questions for you. You mentioned that you, on the day of this incident, were part of something called the Strategic Enforcement Detail, is that right?
Yes.
And it's true that the Strategic Enforcement Detail is a plain clothes detail. In other words, you're not wearing what you're wearing today, your uniform you're wearing today, correct?
Yes.
Patrol officers who are on patrol, they wear the uniform you're wearing today, correct?
Yes.
Patrol officers on patrol also wear body cameras, yes?
Yes, sir.
But in the strategic enforcement detail, HPD has it where you guys don't wear body cameras, correct?
Yes.
So the patrol officers who have body cameras on, it records the interaction, it records what you guys did, what the suspect did, what was said, what wasn't said, correct? For a patrol officer, right?
Yes, sir.
But you guys, no body cameras, correct?
No, sir.
And that's a decision by HPD, yes?
Yes.
You mentioned being in an unmarked van, is that right?
Yes, sir.
And when you say unmarked van, sir, you just mean it's just like a van, like it doesn't have any HPD,
No logos, no lights and sirens, nothing like that.
no sirens.
Nothing.
And no dash cam either?
No, sir.
No body cam, no dash cam, unmarked vehicle, correct?
Yes, sir.
When you were coming down and you left the area, you're driving down, I guess you said New Honolulu Drive, is that right?
Yes.
So is that, just so we're all clear, so when you leave the lookout, you kind of, to come back to Pali Highway, you gotta come down kind of like a,
It's like a, I don't know how to explain it. It's
like a driveway, I mean not a driveway, but like a
long-
off-ramp, kind of, on-ramp.
Yeah, something.
Okay. Like it's what people use to get back on Pali Highway from the lookout, right?
Yes.
Okay. And it's around 6 p.m., yes?
Yes.
And so this was about a year ago, so it's a similar time of year. So, you know, it's 6 p.m. this time of year. It's not dark yet, right?
Not at all.
It's still lit, yes?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So it's 6 p.m. It's still lit, and you see who you believe to be the suspect walking down the street in the light, correct?
Yes.
And when you first saw him, he was walking, not running, correct?
When he ran across from the trees for the brushy area, he ran across to us.
But when you first saw him, he was walking down Poly Drive, right?
Well, he first ran across out of the bushes, he runs across, and then we come up alongside of him, and then that's when he's walking.
Okay. Oh, I see. So he ran across, and then he was walking.
Then he's walking alongside,
Got
because
it.
we drive up, right?
Got it, okay. And then he was walking down when you guys put up next to him?
Yes.
Okay. You mentioned some of the force that you used in apprehending Gerhardt, yes?
Yes, sir.
You mentioned that you, at the time, weighed about 300 pounds, is that right?
Yes, sir.
And you were with Officer Koki
Koki.
and Officer Borges?
Yes, sir.
And they're also pretty big guys, yes?
Yes, sir.
And You mentioned some strikes to his large muscle area to get compliance. I think you said maybe about 6 strikes to his large muscle area, correct?
Yep.
And his muscle area you're talking about is like his arms, his legs, the core of his body, correct?
Yes, sir.
And you know, when you use force, officer, you have to fill out something called a use of force form after, correct?
Yes, sir.
And in this case, you did your best to fill that out accurately, yes?
Yes, sir.
So it's true then that in the process of apprehending him these strikes, you did not hit him in the face or head, correct?
Yes.
That's correct.
Yep.
You mentioned taking him to the hospital. He had visible injuries when you were dealing with him after, yes?
Yes, sir.
But you believe that those injuries came from the hike, yes? Or the incident, correct?
The incident from when we both fell down.
Yeah. And from the hike, yes?
Sure. Yes.
And then you took him to Straub.
Straub Hospital.
And then at Straub, did you stay with him the full 5 hours?
I stayed with him up until about the last hour. Then Officer Koki came and relieved us, and we went back to the station.
Okay. 1 second. But to be clear, you never hit him or struck him in his face or head, correct?
Yes.
All right. Thank you, officer. No
Sure.
further questions.
Any redirect?
Officer Nicola, do you know what body part the defendant landed on when you fell on top of him?
So we went forward, and he landed on his head area, like, because I went down and I was trying to grab him to stop, and we both just fell down.
Thank you. No further questions.
Any recross?
No. Thank you, officer.
Officer, thank you. You
Is there
sit
one
down.
out there? I think that's over here.
You can move out.
Okay.
Watch that for a second.